Hello everybody and welcome again to our special episodes where we're going to be interviewing some past PvP participants and tournament winners so you guys can get some advice on how you can prepare for your tournaments. My name is Justin, I'm the Community Manager for War Divisions, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and I would like to welcome the War Divisions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius New Year PvP Tournament 2023 Auto Battle second place winner, Surebu, and he's going to give you guys some advice on how he prepared for his tournaments. All right, and here we are with Surebu. He was a participant in a previous PvP tournament, so thank you very much for joining us today here on this video.
Thanks, Justin. Great to be here. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for coming. So we'll just have a little bit of an interview here. Just want to go over a few questions since you are a PvP-oriented player and you've participated in some tournaments. But maybe we'll just get some little background before we jump in. Like I said, you were second place in a PvP tournament that happened at the beginning of the year, which was very awesome, so well done there. But when did you start playing War Divisions?
Started playing around launch, so one of the OG 1,000 plus day login players.
That's great. That's good to hear. So yeah, I think everybody is like well over 1,000 days at this point, over 3 years ago, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, I do have some questions here that are more specific to PvP tournament, just sort of get everybody introduced to it. So we thought it might be nice to interview somebody that does participate in PvP quite a bit.
Great.
So let's dive into the questions here. So how were you feeling when you were chosen as a contestant, and like what were you feeling during the tournament?
When I got chosen, I was feeling really grateful, excited to compete. I've been looking forward to official tournaments since the game launched. So, that was definitely great to be chosen.
Right.
During the tournament, I felt anxious at times, especially as I kept winning more. I didn't really expect to. And then I started to feel even rushed during the team swaps with the amount of time. I had my team saved, but had to manually swap some trust stones around due to the template slots. Other than that, it was a really great time competing and looking forward to future contests.
Awesome. Yeah, so I guess probably a little bit nervous watching everything unfold as it went on.
Absolutely. And then, the rush of trying to predict what your opponents are going to run and
Right.
kind of flip-flopping back and forth with the teams you have allotted.
Indeed. So there's a lot of strategies and, like you said, the thought process and everything. So what are some of your strategies or your thought process when you are looking to form your teams?
Well, it depends a lot on the map. Sometimes I like units to do one buff and then rush to burst the enemy down. Dark's been really good at that lately, especially with Lemur and Sephiroth. Other times I prefer like a more balanced approach with the DPS healer tank combo. There's a certain satisfaction with designing a team that can take sequential hits, heal back at the right time, and then return fire to the enemy that they can't recover from.
For sure. So when you're building a team, is there anybody that you absolutely make sure that you need to have? Like, do you always make sure you have a tank, or you always make sure you have a healer?
Well, that would definitely depend on the map, and just like what's happening in the meta. I mean, when it feels like the DPS tank and healer is the right choice, I'll usually set my tank up so he gets out front, followed by the DPS, and then the healer trailing behind. And then with building, I'll try to get more area of effect resistance on the healer and DPS, so they can handle like a hit or two if they're not able to engage the enemy first and knock a unit out.
Indeed, very interesting. So the map matters quite a bit in placement and everything like that.
Absolutely. Yep. Map and initial placement it's a vital key when you have everything else kind of min-maxed and set up for victory. It's the last kind of quality check you got to do.
For sure. So we'll get into some of the more specifics here in a moment, but do you have any specific favorite characters or maybe like a favorite element?
A year ago, if you'd asked me, I would answer Light without hesitation. It was the dawn of the Elena and Jaden meta, and I had a lot of fun with that. My second favorite was Dark. Nowadays, it's flip-flopped. Dark is my favorite, hands down. A big part of that Sephiroth and the upcoming now here Raph. And then Earth teams and Strike teams are kind of the runner-up that I'm experimenting with and slow building.
All right, interesting. I like that. I think there's probably a lot of fans out there for both dark and light.
Yep.
So when you're looking to build your characters, is there anything that you're looking to do specifically, or what's your sort of process when you're looking to build your characters?
Well, from when I pull them, I have like a pretty patient approach. I try to slow build and like use the barracks and all the different ways to get shards that I can. But with units like Sephiroth and Raph, I want to see what they can do as soon as possible. So I'll do all those, you know, the Chocobo Expedition tickets and the barracks and buy the shards, do what I got to do to get them up there in the first week or two. And then other units like Bradley, Dialdo, Bartz, Addison, I'll do more of a slow build. And as far as like specific building styles, you know, sometimes I want Sephiroth to be really accurate if I could run into fire evade. Other times I want him to have like Yuffie's clothes for more AoE res. Maybe I want more damage with Genji glove. It can vary quite a bit.
I see. So on top of that, is there any equipment that you usually sort of go for every single time or try and get into your teams?
I would say the Alex Ring is definitely a mainstay. The AM +6 Alex Ring gives you, you know, small element res, accuracy, and then accuracy on a passive. Other than that, you know, I'm always using Sephiroth's Masamune, Bradley's sword, and then the blood sword from the new Reliquary quest.
Interesting. So TMRs, is there any sort of TMRs that you sort of go for every single time if you can? You know, trust stones and everything, sometimes it can be hard to really go all the way out there and get every trust or TMR that you want.
Yeah, a zombie mask has been a mainstay since as soon as I got it, and there's more and more units with the re-raise remove, but it's still really valuable. You know, you can throw it on a bunch of different units that don't already have re-raise. Rob's glinting armor for the Keen Blade is another really fun one to use to increase your unit speed and allow him to take an extra turn when your opponent might not expect it. And then lastly is the Zizabels. Just honorable mention. All the year one players will know the glory of Zizabels.
Yes, it is probably the most popular TMR in the game, and very useful for every single aspect of content available. Yep. So when you're looking to practice or maybe do some sparring, how do you go about that?
It mostly happens in the mock battles in the guild menu, although it can be difficult to practice in my time zone. We have a lot of Southeast Asian players, so they will they're gonna set the defense before they go to bed, which is kind of like right around when I wake up. So I usually have to ask for it specifically. Other than that, testing in free match, friendly match, and even a little bit in arena, can figure some stuff out in all those different places.
Do you ever do any sort of live sparring, if you can, with somebody from your guild?
Yeah. There's definitely occasions where we'll like jump on stream together and do like defense and offense tests for different elements, or we'll try to stress test a certain comp we want to run on defense.
That sounds awesome. So are you a big fan of that newly implemented guild battle, like mass guild battling? I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is.
Yeah, the guild or guild versus all.
Yeah.
With like fight everybody function. It's great. Yeah, you can just click the button and walk away and let it load for a little bit. Luckily my phone's pretty fast, so it doesn't take too long. But I'd imagine on maybe a slower phone you'd be waiting longer, and then yeah, it'll show you the results, and then you can just play back. You could play back the live replay and see what happened if you want to go more in depth.
For sure. To me, it's also been a very quick way to see what sort of compositions I do well against and what I don't do well against.
Yep. Really great addition they put in there.
All right. So when you're looking to get information for the game, maybe like how maybe some vision cards work or some of the other stuff, what do you tend to go for your information?
Usually I'm just checking the news and the notices. Whenever there's like a live stream, I'll try to tune in and watch that. And if I miss it, I'll check the recap on YouTube. I'm a bit of a more hardcore player, so I even watch like some of the JP streams, even though I can't understand what the language. Yeah, I could still see, they're still playing the same game, so there's things to learn. Aside from that, the technical information, I'll usually do testing myself, or I'll go to WOTV Calc, that has all the different information for units and vision cards, and there's also like a resource sheet that somebody made. They have it in like the Reddit Discord, but that has all of the Aspers and all the different resistances and all that kind of stuff as well. Really helpful resource.
Indeed, there is quite a lot of resources out there available. From everything you mentioned, there's even YouTubers that put out a lot of good information and everything. So
indeed, yeah, JB79 has a great channel with a lot of intro to Espers and equipment and new looks at new units. So, and guild raids too. He's got a lot of good, helpful guild raid content.
Awesome. So you're obviously in a guild. Which guild are you a member of? And maybe could you let us know like what sort of stuff you do with your guild members?
Right now I'm in the Lukavi guild and I'm the leader. We're in the top 3. We're ranked 3 right now and kind of holding that spot pretty strong for a while. So we tend to get pretty involved, maybe as involved as it gets. We do a lot of planning as a group. We'll stream mock battles, like I mentioned before. For Guild War, we'll do poll sessions. We'll spend a lot of time chatting about the game, upcoming units, team compositions, whether trials, class match, guild raid. And we're always recruiting. We have a number of guilds in our community with all different playstyles, so come check it out. Discord GG/Lukavi.
All right, head on over there if you're looking for a wonderful guild. Like you said, they are very top rank. They've been playing the game for a while, so check that out.
But there's some other ones that are, we have, top 20, top 40, top 100, so a little something for everybody.
So you have like a whole community of guilds.
Yes. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a big group.
Are you like the overall manager of them?
No, I wouldn't say that. We actually have a server manager, Milo. He does a great job with the Discord, and I would say he's more or less our community manager.
Oh, nice.
He oversees a lot of things and helps out in a lot of places. So
awesome. That's good to hear. So yes, head over to that Discord if you're looking for some wonderful guild action. So jumping into maybe the tournaments more specifically here, when you're a viewer of these tournaments, because I imagine you've seen a few of them, are you looking for anything specifically? Are you analyzing what other people are doing, or are you just there for the fun, or all of the above?
I definitely fall into the analysis category, and it's a little challenging not to. So as a viewer, like I'm looking at the design of the team comp, the different units they use, different elements, the HP values of the unit I can kind of gauge how many reincarnations they have, the team buff selections they're using with their initial placement, the turn order in CT, so taking guess their agility and whatnot, and then even counting the squares in between the units as they act, especially during the manual battles. I like to do that just to see and kind of guess how far, like, Jaden or a gunner can shoot, or, if somebody moves into the danger zone, you kind of know what's coming next. With auto, it's hard to, analyze all that on the fly, so a lot of times I am just watching auto and enjoying and analyzing less.
Indeed, the last manual PvP tournament that we had was a very good map for long-range gunners. There was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, there was great action there. A lot of creative team comps I didn't expect to see people winning I didn't expect to win, or not people, but their teams.
Right.
All lots of great players there. But yeah, definitely impressed by the showcase there. A little bit different than auto.
Indeed, it is very. It is its own separate thing, where hate does not influence anything at all. So it really changes up how things work out. So, is there anything that you're looking forward to or hoping to see when we get into the finals towards the end of the year?
I'm looking forward to the team comp that will reign supreme in the finals. I got no idea who it's gonna be. I know that they're changing the game a lot with the reincarnation system. So, the sky's the limit with like what we could see and who could win. When I participated, the meta was way different. Like back in January, like I was using like Zazan and Oberon and Velis and Celeste, Astrius and Joker, and like Joker doesn't have his 140, his reincarnation, and numerous other units don't. So they've fallen by the wayside a little bit, and new units like Sephiroth and Raph can come into party.
All right. Do you have any just wild guesses on the 3 units that will be the victor of the auto tournament in December?
That is tough.
It's a tough question. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think Sephiroth and Raph, and another +1 has a really good chance, and then the new Dialdo King Bradley, maybe even Melnia by that time. But granted, we have the worldwide version, and things are gonna shift into November and December. So I think it might not be any of those units. I'm open to it being something completely different.
It could be 3 units that nobody's even aware of.
Exactly. Hopefully it's a third 100 cost dark unit that's really strong though, to pair with Sephiroth.
Indeed. So do you have any final advice for potential PvP players out there that are listening to this interview?
I would say with the right amount of planning and patience in the game, anything's possible. It's the player that makes the team after all, and you can only choose 3 units. That's always been one of my favorite things about War of the Visions, is that it's accessible for any player regardless of their income, and it greatly rewards patience and planning. So it kind of gives you the feeling that anybody's got a shot at the top spot.
Yes, that's true. I like that. Like you said, there are only 3 units, so anything is possible, really.
Yep, it can. You can have hundreds and hundreds of units, but really you gotta choose 3, and then a limited amount of vision cards and the other stuff too. So it keeps it balanced in a way, where a lot of other modern gacha type games are definitely not as balanced as War of the Visions, in my experience.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for the interview, and thank you for the insights. Hopefully those potential PvP players out there were taking some notes, because anything is possible. So once again, thank you very much for taking your time out of your day to come do this interview for us and everybody out there listening.
Great. Thanks so much, Justin, and looking forward to more PvP.
Indeed. The PvP is a lot of fun, so I'm glad we were able to get an official tournament running.
Heck yeah.
All right, thank you very much for that interview, Surebu. That was really awesome and some good information there. So I hope that can help you guys along in your quest to become a PvP tournament master. So the last chance qualifiers for the Championship 2023 Auto Battle, the Saiga Cup, will be held in October. So be sure to join the official Discord server so you are prepared when the registration starts on September 23rd. We also have a special event coming up this weekend on August 26th at 6 p.m. PDT with Auronnj. He's going to be giving some auto battle PvP advice live on his YouTube channel. Also, 5 lucky winners may be selected to receive live consultation during the event live on Auronnj's YouTube channel. So fill out the link in the description below to have a chance to enter so you can be selected. The application form is going to be open until August 20th at 11:59 p.m. PDT, so do not forget to enter there. But don't worry if you're not chosen, you will still have the opportunity to ask him questions in the Discord while the event is going on. So be sure to join the official Discord server so you can have your questions possibly answered during his live event. But that's going to do it for our interview today, and I'll see you potentially in the next one. Thank you. Bye.